and it's just less intense than it is in the Premier League. And I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, the Premier League is head and shoulders better than everything in Europe, because I don't think a Premier League team's going to win the Champions League this year. I think it's
Bayern or PSG, I reckon, for me.
I think it's I think it's a good chance it's going to be PSG again, but I don't think it's going to be Arsenal or Liverpool.
No,
I think Villa will probably win Europa.
Yeah.
And then the Conference League
might be Palace.
But either way, I feel like the Premier League, if you look at the bottom 10 of the Premier League, it shits on the rest of Europe's bottom 10. But you get to the top, obviously, like Arsenal walked the group stages, Liverpool walked the group stages last year, so it's not.
I mean, we finished fourth, so what does that say?
But
what does that say about it?
I do feel like your PSGs and Bayerns in particular, who are in less competitive leagues, they do look to gear themselves up to peak at the right time to win the Champions League. They look to do enough to win their league.
PSG absolutely smashed Chelsea, didn't they? So.
Yeah, they do enough to win their league, and then it's all systems go come the quarters, semi-final, and Champions League, and they go for it. And I think they'll get over the line. They've got the advantages of that the leagues do look after them there.
PSG just got another game rearranged.
They'll adjust them, and that's
the problem with the Premier League, because they've got like 4 or 5 teams that go for it. They can't. They don't have them. They don't have that like shine and light at the top. Because like, all right, let's protect Bayern, let's protect PSG.
Because like you look at it's something that like we always complain about ourselves, that we have all these like derbies and that. But someone like Arsenal do have that. You know, 2 times a year they play us. Not that we exactly put up a fight, but they play Chelsea.
Yeah,
they've got bad rivalries with Man United,
Liverpool.
They've a
City.
growing one with the growing ones with City and Liverpool. Whereas like PSG don't have to roll their sleeves up too often.
Yeah. Bayern, you just play Dortmund, Bayern,
I mean,
and Leverkusen
in the last couple of seasons, but it's a different beast.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though that those teams that you mentioned there, Bayern Munich, PSG, Barcelona, they're the best teams to watch in Europe at the moment.
Yeah,
and you used to get that from the Premier League, but increasingly don't like PSG, Bayern Munich, and Barcelona. They're all just like ultra attacking. I love watching them, and like. But I always think that Barcelona is basically like the final form of Ange ball. But same kind of thing, in it. Massive high line, get wingers on there.
I felt that about PSG.
Yeah, I think they both are.
Yeah.
And this kind of attacking football has come back, but not to the Premier League. Premier League's gone shit.
Well, yeah, it has. But the problem with Ange ball was that you have to have incredibly gifted players to do it, and especially in wide positions. Yeah. So like Ange came out, and in the overlap, he was talking about, I wanted Semenyo, I wanted Mbumo, I wanted Gay, and it's I'm sure if Daniel Levy could go, you also wanted him. Like it's quite easy to rewrite history.
And to your
sometimes.
point, PSG have got Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, and Barcelona got Lamine Yamal and Rafinha.
Yeah, this is it. Like when you've got these kind of players, because how often when we were doing Ange ball, because everything would always filter into those wide areas. And how often would it filter into those areas and you'd find it being Brennan Johnson on one side and then the other side could be anyone from like Richarlison to Odegaard to Tell. And they're just... Tell now is just about starting to drop the shoulder, and he is actually getting past the player. But the others,
not one, no 1v1 players.
1v1 they were terrible.
Yeah,
we've now have got Kudus when he's injured, who 1v1. When he actually is 1v1, he does sit most people down. But under Ange, we didn't have it.
That's my favourite type of player, a 1v1 winger. That's just what the Premier League started, like all the wingers, and they've just gone from the Premier League now, isn't it? Like you got like City, you've got like Doku and people like that, and Cherky sometimes plays out on the wing, and Cherky's like unbelievable to watch. But if you look at the Europe, like Kvaratskhelia and those players like that, and Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, these guys are unbelievable. Like that kind of player used to be in the Premier League, and now we just don't kind of. Yeah, I think it all comes from Guardiola and like his influence on everything. But wingers are just dead in the Premier League now, aren't they? Like you're proper winger.
Yeah, I mean, like Pep, even back to Barcelona, his wide players were encouraged to sort of come inside.
The wingers are back. Wingers are back in what, like, I think Spain. I would personally tip Spain to win the World Cup like they did at Euros, because they've got like a Nico Williams on one side and Lamine Yamal on the other. You just can't, like. It goes back to what you're saying about defend. Like, you can't. The one thing in football you can't defend is pace. Like, you can have whatever, all the try and to do everything you can to try and negate it. But when it comes down to it, and Lamine Yamal's got the ball against your defender, there's only you can't defend pace.
And it is the thing that makes the game beautiful as well. It's not just, oh, look at these two bitter Tottenham fans trying to have failed digs at Arsenal. It's not that. That is the way. And Arsenal,
and we tried to copy it, so we can't complain about Arsenal, because Thomas Frank spent all season trying to copy it.
Absolutely tried to copy it, but like most of our lifetime, because you've got the whole boring Arsenal, but that's from like before our our sort of time. Most of from when I was a teenager up, Arsenal were playing beautiful football under Wenger.
To be fair,
but their argument would be like, we did that without winning anything. Well, they did early on, but now they're going to go and get over the line. But everything goes in cycles.
I saw Sean Dyche saying that as well. It's like, it's just cycles, isn't it? Like the next cycle. I think PSG, Barcelona, that's going to be the new cycle. But
and that's the thing. And the thing is, with the way that the Premier League teams are playing at the moment, it's easier to find players that can play that. If you're looking to play that pragmatic football, it's not easy to win a league doing it. That's what they're doing. Yeah. But to actually do it with a way where you've got flair wingers and you're playing front foot football, you have to have stars to be effective doing it, because you leave yourself wide open.
Mane and Salah in their peak as well.
Yeah, because like you've seen PSG, like PSG won the Champions League, but they went like they had a great game with us, like goals at either end. It was like a basketball match.
Like Barcelona are the same as well. They
Champions League, you have to accept that, like us with Ange, you're going to ship goals. Yeah, and when you're there, it's easy to say that. But when you're in the ground and you're watching like Brighton running through the middle and no one's anywhere near, and they just scoring a goal after you've watched yourself relentlessly attack for half an hour, but not actually even make their keeper sweat, and then you just let them walk through, and you're like, how the hell does this manager think that this is a good idea of what to do? But then you see teams that do it with the right players.
High risk, high reward, isn't it?
And it is great football. What we saw under Ange wasn't great football. It was great for 10 games.
We had a little bit of it.
10 games at the start, we kind of took people by surprise a little bit. I mean, I remember going to the Emirates, that one where we drew.
I thought that's an underrated game for us, I think. I think we were unbelievable that day as well.
That was a game that we should have won.
Yeah. Do you remember Son's threw on goal at the end?
Yeah. And we should have won that. And I think that Arteta kind of learned how to play Ange in that game.
Yeah, because
he kind of looked at it and was like, we'll slap them up and let us play. And we were playing through, and they kind of got away with the fact that we didn't nick a win there. Yeah. And then after that, he was like, "No, we'll sit off and just try and take our."
That's the problem with Ange. Soon as teams started to sit off us, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
couldn't break them down.
And everyone would do it every week, and you just get picked off. And but Ange's argument would be that the style of football wasn't the flaw. Yeah, it was the backing, which brings us all the way back to what we were saying at the start, you know.
And I think that's my main factor in all this, is that I just look back at that January transfer window and what were we doing there? Like, Thomas Frank comes out and says the squad is weaker now. I think we got 8 first-team injuries in January in total. Yeah. And then we've gone into the January transfer window. We've left it weaker than when we started. And that is like just 1 or 2 players back then. We hopefully wouldn't be in this mess. You know what I mean? Like,
because we signed Gallagher and Sousa, and that was it.
Like, Lookman was right there, wanting to come to Tottenham.
Yeah, they just never seem to want to go.
I think back then they didn't believe relegation was a possibility. They're too arrogant to even think it. It's only the last month or two that they thought, actually, shit, we might go down. Whereas fans have been saying it all season. Like, for me. I my concerns with Thomas Frank were after the Arsenal-Chelsea games. Like, that's when I realised this isn't going to do it.
It's arrogance, but it's also it's blindly looking at stats.
Yeah,
they're so unbelievably stat driven.
Yeah,
and you see these like the computer that generates it. Now we're finally our finishing position on that computer is starting to be like we still got to staying up.
Yeah,
just by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
But a few weeks back, we were like 10 points clear, 11 points clear.
I know when we played West Ham, if we'd have beaten them, we'd have gone 16 points clear.
Bourne was born in.
Yeah. How old are your boys?
9 and 5.
Yeah. Are they like proper football mad?
The 9-year-old is.
You go take him to away, don't you?
Yeah. So like he's been some away games with us. He's at that stage where like he's into football as like a wider thing rather than being like mad on Tottenham. Because I'm in this thing at the moment. Like he doesn't really sit and watch a whole game. Like I'll have the game on and he'll come in and watch. Oh, yeah, this is happening, that's happening. What I've had for a good couple of seasons now, at the end of the game, it'll go right and. This is the way that the top half of the Premier League looks, and it's like you're looking at it, and he's looking. I can see him looking around, and I'm thinking any minute now, it's going to show the bottom half, and he's going to see us in 17th. And while he's looking, I'll pick the controller up and turn it off. And he's like, "Where are we? Oh,
we're above that bit. We're above all that stuff. We're in our own league, lad."
Yeah, so it's.
But it's like that Arsenal thing, though, isn't it? Like your whole life is the 4-2 bit, and then you get one equaliser in last, and then you realise it was all worth it.
Was man, like I say, he was born December 2016.
Yeah.
So that was that 16-17 season, and
I feel sorry for these kids, man.
So he's a newborn, and it's like bang, 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 we're winning.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him being like, "You're a Tottenham fan. You ain't been through like what I've been through. You're being gifted this like new Tottenham." Because at the time you think it's gonna just last forever. You're not thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be a flash in the pan."
Yeah.
And so I remember I took him to the old White Hart Lane. And he sat in Poch's seat and whatever as a baby. But now it's
like when I obviously I've moaned about the ownership for a long time, and people used to go, "Well, at least it's not the 90s, you know, it's not as bad as the 90s." And now we're worse. If we get relegated, it's worse than the fucking 90s.
It's worse, yeah.
So it's come full circle.
Yeah.
And now I feel sorry for that because obviously I'm a teacher, so I see all the kids that come through. You know, the people like you mentioned, these boys that are just into, you know, it's like match attacks and FIFA, and it's like their whole life. They fucking play on a Saturday, Sunday, fucking playground, everything. And when Tottenham had Kane, Ali, and Son, all the kids in school fucking loved us. Like they love Kane, they love Dele Alli, they love Son. I feel sorry for them kids now because now they're probably growing up as Tottenham fans. Yeah. They get to like 14, 15, 16 and Tottenham are about to be relegated.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's one of them things that makes you feel old and that when you sort of you see these Tottenham fans that are like that did grow up on that and they're in complete despair. Yeah, because as I say, that's all that they knew. And they
I'm like you. Well, we're basically the same age, so we started off shit, then got good, and then went back to shit. These kids started off up here. Yeah, now they're down here.
So you got a little bit of perspective, and you kind of know both sides of the coin. And whereas, like, if they've come up having genuine arguments, like, because you know, when I was at school, say I think I left school in 2003. So like I'm arguing with Arsenal fans who are like on the brink of winning like the Invincibles season. Yeah. When my strike force was Les Ferdinand and Teddy Sheringham, who had great careers, but they were like 35 and 36 at the time. And they were being supported by Gus Poyet and Darren Anderton, Christian Ziege. And it was just like, but I was happy to go head to head with them at the time. And you would just be like, right, I'm not going to win this, but I'll fight tooth and nail for a draw. These ones that genuinely were having arguments in school with like Man City fans and whatever. Like they should have been losing the arguments, but they've got a lot more sort of in their arsenal when we beat Man City in the Champions League quarter-final, for example. Little like moments like that. We'd generally always beat Arsenal at home. So
Yeah.
one game a season. That's one of the things that's annoying. That's one of the things that that bugs me about this North London derby. Arsenal want it more than us.
Yeah.
And it's not
Our
like...
home record for us used to be decent, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Even when we were terrible.
Yeah, they want it. They get up for it
Yeah.
more than we do.
Yeah.
And I'm not... I don't know about the fans. Like maybe like our fans do get up for it, and they probably match each other. But as far as the players, like as I say, when we were better than them for you talking about a window of like 3 or 4 seasons where we were better. We weren't miles better, but there was like that we were clearly better for a few years. We'd always lose at Emirates.
Yeah.
They would get up and they would find a way to win.
Yeah.
Whereas
I've
like
only won there once in my lifetime.
Yeah. So
in the
it's
league.
like and but yeah, once it turns the other way, they're just slapping us up home and away. And like you know, obviously they're a lot better than us this year. You know, the league shows this like chasm between us. But we have not even tried.
No.
Like that.
The derby just
the one at Emirates. That ranks
That was
up
my
there.
first red flag, Thomas. That was when I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think this should go.
And quite often the performance at Emirates can be the moment where like my mind changes on a manager. I always remember when Mourinho was the manager.
Yeah.
And it was that game where we played against Arsenal, and you had Kieran Tierney was their left back, and on our right hand side we had Gareth Bale. Yeah. And whoever it was that would have been behind him at the time, it was probably before Emerson Real. It was probably Aurier.
Yeah. It would have been Aurier. Yeah.
Or did we even have Davinson Sanchez? I think Davinson Sanchez.
Was that in COVID? Was that Lamella Rabona goal?
Yeah. It would. I think it was that.
He scored the Rabona against them, didn't he? We went 1-0 up. Yeah.
But yeah, it was Gareth Bale got subbed off because essentially he wasn't doing what Mourinho was telling him to do, which was to double up on Kieran Tierney, which for someone like Gareth Bale, that is an insult. And I always feel gutted that one, we had Bale on that second stint under Mourinho, but also it was COVID.
I know, mate.
Because it was...
Didn't get to see him in the
It was
flesh.
like... When he came in and he was really like thin and he looked frail when he first came in and you were just like, how are you in such bad nick? Like, because, you know, he's always been this like superhuman player. Like, and obviously he'd had an injury and he was out, but I always felt like he'd be the kind of guy that if you played him tomorrow, he would like be doing bits. But he actually came to us and was dreadful for the first few games. He couldn't move. But then you watched him like, and it was like watching like an injured animal just getting stronger and stronger, and you were like, go on. And by the end, he was flying. Like the amount of the goals, his last game was that Leicester one where he scored 2 in that. And it's like, if he'd have stayed for another year, obviously he had other things on his mind, and it was a tune-up for the Euros essentially. But yeah, it was just to have had him and have a manager that was like, let's play through him when he started playing well. Yeah. But Mourinho just
he scored like 12, 15 goals, didn't he? Even
by the end,
he scored a lot. He scored a quite. I mean, just seeing him and Kane as well. That's like 2 symbols of Tottenham playing together as well. Almost feels like they never really played together, but they did for a little bit. But
it's
just weird, like 2
for
different
6
eras
months or so. Yeah, I mean, it was from January.
And they're both such good, like they're both so intelligent football. They both thrived off each other, really, didn't they?
Because you see certain things when people look at like lineups of the past, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is the best one," and it's like Son, Kane, Bale. It's like doesn't really tell the whole story.
It's actually more Son, Kane, and Kulusevski was the best.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then you've also got it when you go back to like 15, 16, 16, 17, and then they'll do the lineup and they'll put Son in it, and it's like actually like the best side that we had was Son was actually on the periphery of it.
And I remember like when in the team before that with Bale and Lennon, like Bale, there weren't actually that many games where they played on the wing together. Because like Bale, sort of, he started like they didn't. I remember everyone was clamouring for him. Can't wait till we got Bale and Lennon on the wings. But didn't actually happen that much because then Bale started coming inside, didn't he, a bit more and like playing.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember everyone was chanting he plays on the left to get about Gareth Bale then.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was that Champions League one when we played Inter and whatever. That was Bale and Lennon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't too much. But as I say, that was another funny story in the way that ended up. I mean, were you at the Bernabeu for the?
No.
I remember that, and it was just like, it was one of those ones. You know, you're having a drink all day, and like get into the ground. I remember Gazza was behind me, and it was just like saying hello to Paul Gascoigne, and everything's gone so nicely. Yeah. And then it's just like, boom, Crouch sent off straight away. Yeah. Just like, what are you doing?
So I remember in the build up to, what was the score in the first leg? 3-1.
I thought it was 4-0. Di Maria scored a couple, Adebayor and 4-0. Cristiano Ronaldo.
I remember everyone in the build up being like, if Spurs get an early goal, we might be able to get back. That's why whenever you get smacked, the same happened at Atletico the first time. Whenever you get smacked at the first leg, you're thinking it's over. Then as soon as the game comes around, like hour before a game, you're thinking, if we get an early goal.
Yeah, but the main reason you think that is because you've seen us capitulate so many times before.
Like Atletico, if we get an early goal here, you never know.
They'll shit themselves. It's like, well, most normal teams manage these situations quite well. We're the ones that do it. I remember going up to Burnley away for that semi-final. God, it was freezing cold that night. Yeah. And what was that? 3-0, and then they turned it around, and it went to extra time. We scored 2. I think it was Defoe and Pav.
Yeah, Pav scored.
And
that was nearly going to penalties. Yeah,
that was so.
Sheffield United as well. That went to extra time.
yeah. Was that the one with the Ericsson free kick?
It was like snow and rain. Conditions.
It's just the story. Like when people say, "Oh, it's the story of Tottenham." The story of Tottenham is up.
Obviously,
and down,
for me, the biggest
crazy.
one is Zagreb in the fucking Europa League. 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Go to Zagreb. Their manager's in prison, obviously.
Oh, that one, yeah.
We lose 3-0 to fucking Zagreb. And then the funny thing is, in that game, Gareth Bale's playing, Harry Kane's playing, Son's playing. Yeah. And we lose 3-0 to Zagreb.
Yeah. No, it's mad, like, because that's where football is just a funny game. Yeah. Because you look at
Spurs more than anyone else.
Yeah, but like you can look at things where you can look at the best team ever, and you can go. You see people having these arguments on Twitter and that all the time, and this wouldn't happen to a great team of the past, and it'll go, this great Man United team that's Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, or like this great Barcelona. But there's always a window for someone to pop up and go, this team? And it's like that Man United team losing 2-0 to like Blackburn or something. And it's just weird that it can happen, but it'd be boring if it just just went, everything just, it's like, I remember, you're talking about like Football Manager and things like that, when you just assemble this like unstoppable team that's just like, and you look at all of your ratings and it's against some team that's just like, well, this is obviously going to be about 4-0, and then you do the game and you like lose 2-1, and you're just like, how is that happened?
Who did we play in the cup a couple of years? They had that fella playing from like the Zara, who's a part-time worker at Zara.
Tamworth.
Yeah, Tamworth. It's like, how can that happen? Like a Premier League team playing a non-league team. Like, it can't possibly happen that they go to extra time, whatever, and it did. Yeah. Like, how does that even happen in real life, in real time?
That was Kinski's first game, wasn't it?
You got someone who part-time worker at Zara who's skinning us left, right, and centre.
Kinski, who had like the worst birthday tweet. Like we've been saying like recently about like Tottenham obviously have an obligation to honour like birthdays and like new guy joining the club, and it's just like at this moment in time, it's just shut up. Yeah. Like we do not want to hear from the club at all. Like
my favourite thing about that is twofold. One, it's the fans that then slag that tweet off as if it's like Daniel Levy pressing send. You know what I mean? And two, it's the poor guy on the other side of it, the fellow who's like, that's his job. He's like, do I really have to send this right now? And they're like, yeah. Just send a Kinski birthday tweet 2 days after. It's like that poor intern is probably thinking, He knows he's going to get shit for this.
Yeah,
But I love the people that respond to it as if it's Tottenham that he's talking to. It's like, mate, you're talking to a social media manager. He's probably not even a fucking Spurs fan.
but it's just like, you know, you're watching, you just don't want to see him. It's like when you go on holiday, like lads' holiday, and you know, ride or die. Like you're going off to Magaluf or whatever. First night, you absolutely love these boys, but after like 6 or 7 days on the piss together, you're just sick of them. Yeah. Like, you know, you're sick of the smell of them. One of them's made you lose the deposit on the hotel. You get back to the airport and you're just like, I do not want to see these cunts. Yeah. You get back to England, you drop them off home, and it's just like, you have your little nap, you wake up and it's a text off one of those mates off of that holiday, and he's just like, fancy a pint, mate? Fuck off. Like, I really don't need to see you at all at the minute. It's like, you always love this club, but just shut up. Like, you've lost to Nottingham Forest. Do not be tweeting. Like, you know, we played Atletico. Kinski's obviously had the nightmare of all nightmares, and he's basically crying on the pitch. Yeah. He's had to come off. And it's like 2 days later, happy birthday, Anthony Kinski. I don't care if it's his birthday. It's like, you know, when I was shouting at him on the night, I don't care that one of the next 365 days is going to be his birthday. I do not give a toss about it. Yeah. He, I guarantee you, did not want that to be sent out. All it does is just puts him in the firing line of this angry mob of fans. But nah. It's like when they, you know, when you like lose, you get smacked, and then the next day Tottenham tweet like, next up, Liverpool away. It's like, just don't fucking tweet it. Just leave it. The other thing that bugs me is, like, you know, you'll be playing Arsenal, and you know, Eze's just scored his hat trick, and it's like, Arsenal 3. Tottenham. It was just like, just don't tweet. I get that there must be some kind of like etiquette that's like agreed to by all the clubs, that it's like, look, you have to live tweet, you have to do this. I don't know why they'd have to agree to it, but obviously from the club's point of view, and where you've got people that live and die by those social media numbers, they know they're guaranteed engagement, even though it's farming engagement from other teams and abuse, so they're not going to pass it up, but they should pass it up. Because you are our club. It's like, I just hate, everyone knows that behind it all, the club is a business. They don't give a damn about us as fans. They're there to make money. If they're going to be successful, or they're actually going to try and invest enough to be successful, it's because that will reap more money. They're not doing it because they want the glory, you know, these fans, let's give them a nice day. They're doing it for the money, and you know that. It still pisses you off every time. I just like, I just feel it's almost like the social media guys are like gunpoint, and the club are saying, you got to fucking send it. And I just wonder, like, is it that, or is the social media guy just blissfully unaware? I think I think a lot of time they're not even Spurs fans. Like, I've seen it in the past. Some geezers. Tottenham don't employ Spurs fans, do they? Like, he's probably an Arsenal fan. He gets like a promotion somewhere else, and he goes, "Oh, love my time working with the Spurs social media team." And it sounds like he's like an Arsenal fan or something like that. It's like but I guess that makes it, in some ways, it's probably like the vet. It's probably best that he's removed from it. That's it. Like, I mean, the only people I know 2 people that have worked for Tottenham in the last 20 years. Yeah. One of them was a coach, and then the other one would do like editing and stuff. And I'd always get pictures of like the new kit and whatever. Just like he'd send it because he'd do like the photo shoots for the kits. Both of them are Arsenal fans. Both, like, the one who would send the kit is a massive Arsenal fan as well, like proper like season ticket holder. He's the one that's in my ear giving me grief. That coach that got sacked, isn't it? Because he posted like he doesn't want the badge to touch his skin or whatever. I know, It's just like, I got to wear a vest to like keep it off. But it's That's what they do. I mean, they've got a job role, which is to monitor social media, and they'll give it to the guy who's best. But it's just like, it shouldn't be that way. Like,
so I changed jobs recently, and I was looking on Indeed and that, and like there's all these jobs for like teaching. You basically teach the footballers, like the boys that are in the academy and all that. One for Charlton comes up. I'm like, I'll apply to that. I actually got through it. I didn't go for it in the end because like Charlton's a bit too far from where I live. And I saw a job advert for Chelsea. It's like, could I do that? I was thinking to myself, could I? Obviously, I didn't go for it in the end, but it's like, could I work for and be paid by Chelsea FC?
No,
I was like, nah, I can't do that.
That's
Charlton
the thing,
I'll take, but Chelsea I'm not doing it.
Like, you hear people ring in to TalkSport at different times, and they'll talk to maybe like people that have played for their rivals, like Darren Bent or like Jason Cundy and whatever, and they'll kind of be like, you played for a team that you now hate, and they'll be like, well, you do the same. And it's like, and they'll always be like, oh yeah, of course you would. And like, would you not play and get, but like, because at my like age that I am now and life that I've lived, I would have to pass up big money to like, obviously I'm not going to get a job to play for Arsenal, but like, it's not like you say no to it and you just go back to your day job. You would play for someone else, and you might be on a bit less money and whatever. But the players that have come up, I've known people that have gone on to be pros. They live different childhoods and teenage kind of times to what I lived. They weren't out. Everything was about playing football all the time. So they weren't going to watch Tottenham on the weekend, or they'd pop up to certain games where like they'd go as part of the academy or whatever, but they weren't living and breathing in the same way.
Boys, they're playing on the weekend every time the Tottenham play, aren't they? They're not
like Joe Hart, for example, was someone that I knew growing up. Yeah, he was an Arsenal fan as a kid. He played for us. Yeah. It's like, he would have thought nothing of it. Yeah. He played for West Ham, played for Man City.